hey, time to showcase, unbox, whatever you want to call it. Showcase, probably a better word, because I've already taken it out of the box that it came in. The big box. It's of another box, so technically it is an unboxing, so I'll show you the packaging it came in as well. My iPad Air 2, which I'm recording on, and I think does a fine job of doing YouTube videos, by the way. The case that I had for it was starting to look pretty lousy, and I'll show you that now. It had a stain on the front. The brown was starting to look, I don't know, kind of just dungy and dingy. It still had the Apple logo on the back, if you can see that right here. Kind of hard in this light to see it, but it's there. I don't know if I can't really show it at an angle where you can see it very well. What was starting to happen is, and I'll show you here, it was starting to peel up here, actually fall apart, and that's where the volume control is. I don't know if it got wet there or what happened. Something happened and it caused it to come off. It was never really stitched on there. The inside also started to look pretty ragged, as you can tell. Just wasn't looking nice. Like, here's what it used to look like. Yeah, it was looking pretty flimsy, pretty lousy. The nice thing about this was it was so lightweight, and it was practical for my purposes. I wanted to show you the contrast between it and what I got. What I bought was, and I did a lot of research on this, as I usually do. My wife can tell you I'll drive her nuts on looking at things, reading reviews, thinking about it more. With the case as bad as it was, and going on job interviews from time to time, for professional type jobs, I wanted something that would look better. That actually, was looking bad for a while. So I wanted something that looked better. And I came across this on Amazon. I'd read like the 10 best cases to get and so on. And this one was on Amazon. It got really good reviews, 4.5 stars, and had something like 300 reviews. And there were two that were almost identical. One was $49, one was $37. I got the one for $37, thinking, well, it looks as good as the other one. It looks to be the same. It may be the same manufacturer under two different brand names. This was the iCarer, I-C-A-R-E-R, made in China like everything else in the world is these days. And this is the nice little plastic case it came in with a plastic covering over it, and something that would hang on a shelf to be sold, no doubt. You see, it's for the iPad Air 2, which is what I own. And for my money, I've had it for, I think, almost 2 years. The iPad Air 2 has been a great addition. I own the iPad 2. Never on the iPad. I own the iPad 2. I waited until the next generation, because a lot of times the first generation of anything is not what it should be. Got the iPad 2, which was a great unit. Then I got, what was after the iPad Air? What was after the iPad 2? Did I get the iPad? Did I have the original iPad? I think I might have. I think I did have the original iPad and sold it to a buddy of mine that I worked with and got the iPad 2. And then he gave that iPad to his wife and picked up an iPad 3, I think. Or possibly 4. I don't remember anymore. Which was one of the worst ones, actually. I think it's had more problems. I've really been a fan of the iPad Air 2. Did kind of the same thing when the iPad Air came out. I liked a lot of the things about it, but I waited for the iPad Air 2 to come out. Now, of course, they have the iPad Air Pro, but I've been real happy with the iPad Air 2. I have no desire yet to upload. They have the Mini too, but I like the bigger size. So let me show you what this is like. It comes. I have tried it, so I'm not just taking it out and telling you, give you my thoughts on it. And this may, I usually do Blu-ray DVD reviews for those of you who may be tuning in on this. Because you're interested in a new case for the iPad Air 2 or your first case. I usually do Blu-ray DVD reviews, talk about movies a lot, talk about music, things like that. But I branch out. I do video games from time to time, though I have a Dean of Gaming channel that I'm, kind of trying to get going as well. So inside here, you've got, comes like this. Shows you that it's genuine cowhide. A little piece of what they use to make this sucker. And then this tells you how to take care of it, keep it dry, keep it well ventilated, and so on. Keep it away from excessive humidity, and another little booklet that does kind of the same thing. And then a little thingy that. All right, so I only own one iPad Air 2, but I can show you that this snaps in, and it basically just pushes in. The leather is nice and firm here, and I don't see any reason why it wouldn't stay firm from the look of it. And then inside you've got this beige protective type material. It's going to protect the back of the iPad and also the front of the iPad. It does close up nicely. You can fold it back to read like a book, which I'm a big fan of. I like to hold it like this a lot. And I'll put my iPad in it and use it this way, more than I use it the other way. But it does have the same kind of deal here, where you can do this, just like the iPad, and it'll have this angle for either typing, which you put it like this, and then it'll be on the desk. Let's see. Yeah, kind of sits like that. Yeah, that's the best way to do it. And it just kind of keeps it so you can type on it. And the other way is, of course, this way. We can use it like a stand. So, yeah, I'm a big fan of this type of display. And look forward to using this. It's very bendy, which is good. And I'm sure it'll get even more bendy as you use this. It'll break in, because it is leather. So it'll break in as you use it. But isn't that a great look? I love the reddish brown of this compared to the other one. Look at this compared to the old one that I had, and the difference between the two. Really much more professional look here on this one. You can see it's leather, it's stitched. This was leather too, but it's kind of a cheaper leather. This was put out by Apple. It's the Apple case. So I'm real happy with this. It's got the smell of leather, because it is. And the iPad 2 Air 2 fits in here perfectly. And yeah, it's a real nice design. I think it'll stay nice for as long as I own the iPad Air 2. I'm looking forward to using that. Going on a job interview with it. Looking somewhat professional. So that's a look at that. It's functional. It does what I want it to do. It's fairly lightweight. Not as lightweight as the other one, but feels sturdier in your hand as well, which is also an advantage, I think. It's not heavy like some of the ones I've used. I've looked at the ones that have the keyboards either built in, or one had one you could slide it out from the back. Not a big fan of that, and even though I do type on my iPad, I'm only a 2-finger typist anyway, so I'm never going to be one of these guys that, fly, although I do pretty good with the 1 finger. And I think that's adequate for me. I think the keyboard adds too much bulk, doesn't allow me to use it in the way I like, which is to fold it back and use it that way, whether to take notes on or whatever. And so I think I picked the perfect one for me. So if you're looking for a folio type case for your iPad Air 2, I would highly recommend this from iCarer. Genuine leather, fits the iPad snugly, no problem with the cutout for the camera. The only thing I'll say is that when you have the iPad in it, you can't anyway. When you have this closed, you're not going to be able to do much with it anyway. But when you have this open like this, when you have it back like this, it gives you something to hold on to when you're taking pictures. And you can take your pictures, with your iPad in here like this way. And of course, the camera works on this side just as well. So yeah, the cutouts are all great. The volume has a cutout here. The power button has a cutout out here, which I enjoy. It truly gives you a full, the headphone jack is cut out nicely. So I don't see any problems with this. The case was made in 2015. A lot of the cases that were made early on had some issues. This one, I'm sure, had a chance to get any bugs out of it, again, which I like. And it does have the iCarer logo at the bottom here embossed in, which I think is a nice touch. It's not obtrusive. Yeah, I'm real happy with it. It's the iCarer case. Very professional looking, thin to match the iPad Air 2. Gives you a nice feeling of protection. I think if you drop this, I don't plan on it, but if you drop this, I think you'd be fine. I wouldn't throw it, but I think you could drop it, and the edge protection here is pretty thick, much better than what I had on the other one. I think, and I've dropped the other one even in that case from time to time. Not often. I'll usually off the nightstand onto the floor, carpeted floor. It's probably a 2.5-foot drop, so it's usually not bad. This, I've been told this can survive a 4-foot drop without any problems. I'm not going to try it. But all right, guys, that's it. That's the case, the iCarer iPad Air 2 case, genuine leather. The folks at iCarer, you can go check them out, icarer.com, I believe. We'll get you there. It's going to be www.i-carer.com. So it's i-carer. All right, that's it, guys. Real happy with it. I would highly recommend it. Again, if you like the Folio type of design. If you like a different type, that's fine. They have all sorts of different iPad Air 2 cases out now. Believe me, I looked at almost all of them. And I settled on this for $37. I don't think you can beat it. You find these things as high as $100. I think it retails for $100. But Amazon had it for that price, so I was happy to pick it up for that. There's another one that looks almost like it for $49. I think that would be good as well. All right, guys, take care. Dean of DVD, signing off.